COSATU's Zwelinzima Vavi says the battle for e-tolling in Gauteng is far from over. And outgoing Anglo-American CEO Cynthia Carroll says the mining industry has to start doing things differently. I'm Richard Brooks. COSATU's General Secretary Zwelinzima Vavi says the battle for e-tolling in Gauteng is far from over. He says the Labour Federation is already in talks with the National Economic Development and Labour Council and will call for a strike. Earlier, Sanral announced new e-tolling tariffs. Vavi explains.
The battle is far from being over. In my view, this is just right at the beginning where the real battle is going to be waged now, with the masses coming to the party to object to this second or third or fourth way of paying tax in this particular fashion. We're preparing for a battle with the government. We're quite determined to stop it at the mass level, but we're quite prepared to take a national strike action on this matter.
Finance Minister Pravin Gordhan says the fiscus will not be able to cope with the uncertainty if parties appeal against a Sanral court ruling on e-tolls. He briefed Parliament's Joint Committee meeting on Finance and Appropriations. Gordhan says he has noted that organisations opposing e-tolls aim to go ahead with court action to stop the system from being rolled out. Gordhan says prolonged uncertainty around the matter will not be good for the country.
The court will not give you a decision before the beginning of next year. One or other party could then appeal. That means you'll then have an appeal date being set. Then the appeal decision will be granted. One or other party could then take it to a higher court thereafter. What that means is that we now have an extended period of uncertainty about how we're going to actually cater for 20-odd billion rands of debt and a total debt book of 30-odd billion rands for Sanral. That uncertainty cannot be allowed.
Outgoing Anglo-American CEO Cynthia Carroll says the mining industry has to start doing things differently. Carroll announced her resignation today after 6 years at the helm. It comes on the heels of protracted violent mine strikes, which cost billions of rand in production and revenue. Carroll elaborates.
I think the real challenge is the change in the development of projects and the challenges around the delivery of projects in new mining jurisdictions or even existing ones where there are greater expectations, and I think the situation in South Africa is just evidence of that we have to do an even more proactive job in reaching out to those communities and making sure that we are aligned on a continuous basis in terms of our ongoing operations and also our development.
The DA will lay a complaint with Public Protector Thuli Madonsela against Limpopo government officials for allegedly awarding school feeding tenders to former ANC Youth League leader Julius Malema's associates. Spokesperson Desiree van der Walt says the complaint will be laid against Basic Education MEC Dixon Masomona and the Limpopo Education Department for awarding a 14 million rand school feeding scheme tender to Malema's associates. Malema's bodyguard, his former driver, cousins and close associates reportedly benefited from the program.